Coming up next, it's a UFC welterweight division matchup. Well, this is about as decorated a kickboxer as has come into this division in some time, DC. And if we get a kickboxing match tonight, he ain't losing.
He is a championship-level kickboxer, a guy that can stand in the pocket and trade and kick and punch with anyone. He's constantly throwing things from as close as you can get. He's comfortable throwing leg kicks. He will drive knees into your body. But it's the aggressiveness and the ability and willingness to stand in the pocket and trade that makes him truly, truly special. I think that is what separates kickboxers, the high level, from everyone else.
He understands distance as well as any striker in this division. Of course, that is a byproduct of a lifetime of repetitions in the kickboxing space. Well, we probably trot out the term well-rounded in modern-day mixed martial arts more than we should, but this fighter certainly fits the bill.
Oh, 110%. He can do everything inside the octagon. Where he is most comfortable is inside of that 8-sided structure where most men are terrified of being. But for this gentleman, he only wants to be there. When you try to wrestle him, he's able to defend takedowns. If you dare stand and strike with him, he can knock you out. He's got all the tools necessary to become a UFC champion.
His first martial art, mixed martial arts, and that's not always the case. He believes that he should have a lot of advantages in this matchup tonight. Our tale of the tape for this welterweight fight. Condit is 10 years his senior. The rest is roughly identical. And now for the particulars, we go inside the octagon where we find Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a kickboxer, holding a professional record of 31 wins, 14 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the former UFC welterweight champion, the natural-born killer, Condit! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 12 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Stockholm, Sweden, Khamzat for Chimaev! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Levine.
The veteran Yves Levine draws the assignment here.
You ready?
Let's get this one started here. Round 1 is underway. And we've got a striker who is a force to be reckoned with. Tonight, though, he draws a guy who can do a little bit of everything.
And that guy is usually the one that will have the advantage. But we know what a high-level striker is. And this guy is as high level as we've ever seen in the UFC.
All right, well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you've got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent.
Jumps on a headlock. We call this in wrestling just a headlock. And if you're not careful, you can get stuck in an arm triangle. Watch triangle, watch triangle. He needs to push the arm to the side. Get his head against the mat. Now watch as he goes to the finish. Watch his chest go to the mat.
And this might just be a matter of time. Sleep with the arm triangle.
The moment he dropped his chest, it dropped all of his weight on his opponent's neck and put him to sleep.
Jiu-jitsu practitioners around the world celebrating the effort of that young man tonight.
He got him!
Yeah, That's high-level jiu-jitsu there, and I know going into this fight, he felt like he was going to have to be near perfect with his grappling and his transitions to force a tap, and he did one better here tonight. He forced the nap, so great technique to get the finish, and ultimately he is your winner by way of submission. All right, let's take a look back at the replay as he gets it done by submission tonight, champ.
I mean, you know, this guy has such a great submission game that you cannot lay in his guard. He's so skilled, he's so tricky, and he's so good at weaving a web that gets you lost in it that he made him pay for it tonight and got the submission victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Levine has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute, 34 seconds in the very first round. For the winner by submission, Khamzat.
Well, what an incredible result here tonight as you see the winner there celebrating his victory by way of submission, and they put so much stock into finishing this fight. They felt like to really spin his career forward, they needed to not just win but get the finish, and they certainly got it tonight.
They got the finish. He's such a terrific grappler. Every time he is on his back, he looks for submissions over and over again. Eventually, he found one tonight and got the desired result.